Welcome back my viewers and subscribers. Today we out by Goodyear, the hotel factory out by Springfield. Yeah man, where they will be building the urban centre, the Morant Bay Urban Centre. Today the Prime Minister will be coming on a tour of the area along with members of China Harvard, banks and other entities. So we're here awaiting the arrival of the Prime Minister to come and give a speech after touring the property. So if you look around, you see that the old structure are there. So what they're doing now, they're trying to tear down all these old structure. They started already, so you will be seeing a little clip of them demolishing a building also. So as I said before, we are waiting the Prime Minister to come and give a speech, also other members of other entities.
Why the entire St. Thomas is here? St. Andrew too, sir. How are you? Are you recovered? Pleasure. Pleasure meeting you. Pleasure. Pleasure. Where's MP? MP. What's the deal? MP? Minister? Good. Okay, how are you? Very good. So who is leading the tour?
We're going to get this way.
You want to go this way?
Right.
Of course.
We can't get. Sorry. YouTuber. Yes. This has been voted with an expansion, loading bays and stuff, particularly.
Like a warehouse.
So this entire stretch, primarily in a low commercial industrial stretch. So we have lots of warehouses and that kind of buildings along, including the Harkness NTA training centers along. So we have a number of warehouses. So primarily we're standing. To better understand, sir. We're standing right there.
Okay, so you're almost at the back of the front.
Back in the pocket. Right in this immediate here in our space. The primary functions of Morant Bay, which is the wells, sir, and we're trying to resuscitate at least 4 other wells that are strategically located on the center. This is the primary water source that feeds it.
So which is that this
Yeah, that's the importance of air nourishing well deep and to ensure that we
a proper water source. All of this is industrial. As quite right, industrial premise. The low-key manufacturing distribution. The main building, as you see, will be that steel frame structure will be room for the level of corrosion. So we're going to take that land. Pulling down has started, and hence the site preparation that we're seeing as part of that. And to ensure that we're not encountering any unknowns. Some 60 years old. So there are what we call detention tanks and stuff like that under the building because of the manufacturing of tires back in the day. So they had what they call containment area. So we're going to have to properly close those areas before we do anything. That's where we are.
Morant?
Yes, where are you?
On top of some of these areas, there's a small leaf here and here also. Focal point coming in from the parish NCD. As I explained to you, Mr. Brown, you're coming in, you have a deceleration lane coming at 6 in. You have a turn only lane coming in, stop intersection as possible. So there's designed for the movement, up to 4 lanes at that margin. Secondary, ingress, egress, left turn in, left turn in. Smoother operation going back in the township. Then we have the bus park, main park, fast food enterprises, which are satellite. Justice Square, which is the courthouses. the government
In terms of the traffic coming out, going to Kingston, would they go to Cross?
right,
Stoplight over there?
a stoplight is here. See, pedestrian crossing, we have a bus stop over here also, and we have an entrance here. So if you come in, if you miss the turn here, you can enter here.
One of the problems we may have is somebody coming from Morant Bay, come off a bus here, would they get across over?
Yeah, you see, this,
So you wanted to do the overpass.
yeah, you see, you have to be careful with traffic. So this is going to be a carriage. It's not a low, it's the local road is going to be carrying volumes of traffic. You don't want to have volumes of traffic being stopped. You know, because every second of stop adds seconds to everybody else's journey. So for these things, you know, you need exits and entries that are seamless to the main road. So these measures will probably work in the initial phase, but as the volumes improve, you're going to have congestion. So you really need to have, so this is fine, you're coming in from Kingston, easy entrance, but you don't want the exit to interrupt the flow of traffic, even though you're going to have a stoplight. Right? So you want seamless exit and seamless entry. So you're definitely going to need dedicated overhead or underground capacity, whichever is feasible, which may require you to create additional lands here.
The initial design is quite invasive and quite
No, so
you flipped it.
yes,
I suggested to them.
yeah. So if you did it this way, it would expand the project and give you more space. Because now it would allow you to do other things, parks and parking and more buffer, which makes sense. So you could have a security point here to enter when you come through there. And you're leaving and merging back.
There could be a small overpass and come back over and merge.
Yeah, but these are details that we will pursue.
Absolutely. We can look at the
And the discussion initially with them is that as this keeps going to phase one of that road, this can always come in coming in here would have been very subject because when you looked at it, it's taking close to 5.5 years.
Yeah.
So the land taker comments I said to them, let push it and you can see if you can do that and come on.
Oh, I noticed you have a prominent food supplier. Three of them are here. Three. I didn't call any names.
I know my father thought.
Each time I do that, I would have to send a bill. Right? But it's good.
Franchises are well represented.
You have the government agencies, courthouse, warehouses, facilities for DPOs. You have a bank, the municipal authority is there, very good. Looks good. Looks good.
Mr. Lemmy.
Alright, I'm sure you want to talk to the
Yes,
to the
yes.
media. So let's do that. Let's do that in an organized way so that everybody can get the office.
Long time already.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for welcoming the Prime Minister to the both parish of St. Thomas as we toured where the new urban centre will be. The Prime Minister will make a statement on his tour, and afterward we can ask a few questions as we take the trek back to Kingston. Prime Minister?
Thank you, Naomi. Today I decided to tour the South Coast Road Improvement Project and to come and view the start of the Morant Bay Urban Centre. Both projects are, as you know, long in the making. For the South Coast Road Improvement Project, work is proceeding apace, but we cannot say that it is not without its challenges and its difficulties. I saw firsthand the discomfort of communities along the way. And all I can do is to thank them for their patience and to ask for pardon as we progress with our infrastructure. Nevertheless, the NWA has been given very strict instruction to ensure that all the contractors respect the rights of citizens to be able to enjoy the freedom of movement, the use of the roadway without undue discomfort. So I know that they have increased their efforts to water the roads, to keep the dust down, to provide dust shields where possible, and to give access to persons who are living in close proximity to the construction world. I know as well that they have increased and indeed advanced the paving of roads because this will help. In one instance, a community has reached out to say that the new alignment will have significant economic and commercial dislocation for them. As best as possible, we are trying to accommodate that community, that is the community of Grand Spen. I looked at the provisions that have been made. Concerns have been raised about the possibility of flooding for communities given the new alignments and the new arrangements of the roadways. Again, we have given strict instructions to the NWA, to our supervising consultants to ensure that drainage is carefully attended to. And I know in the case of Grand Spen, arrangements have been made to improve the drainage there so that they are not flooded up. I will make one general comment, however, that this road, it's not just an improvement. It is a profound change to how we have accessed the parish of St. Thomas over the last 50 years. It will create new opportunities, and it will create new flows into St. Thomas, new flows of business, new residential flows, and new interests, possibly tourism and BPOs. And that will change the nature of the parish. You will see that communities that formerly existed, over time, they may move as new interests come in. So this road is technically a development road. Yes, it will make it easier for traffic flowing through, but it is going to change St. Thomas for the better. It's going to give everybody more opportunities. But the government is not just looking at the theory of it, that if we put a good road in, then new opportunities will come. The government is also being instrumental, meaning the government is taking deliberate action to ensure that the full value of the road is recognized. And this is my reason for standing here. This is a project that I have personally pursued. Governments before have attempted. I'm standing here in the skeletal remains of a factory. It used to be the main economic source for the parish of St. Thomas. It was a brand name. It meant something for the people of St. Thomas because this is where their incomes would come from that would support their families. Unfortunately, as is the and you see, once all right, sir, all right, I get it. All right, I'm in your territory. All right, don't worry. But as the factory has been abandoned, it has been taken up for other uses. But we can make better use of it, and we intend to. Other attempts have been made. Some years ago, several hundreds of millions of dollars were spent on trying to rehabilitate the factory for community use. It didn't work. So we have been very careful to put together a development project that is viable and sustainable and meaningful. But nevertheless, the government still has to de-risk the project in some ways, and we have assigned the Factories Corporation to lead the project. We have China Harbour as a partner in the construction, and we have NCB and other financial houses as partners in ensuring the financial viability of the project. So far, all the reports suggest that the buildings and facilities that are going to be constructed here will be taken up. My own perspective is that Once the road is in, and there is, as I've said, the new flows of interest into the parish, this will become the hub and the sector around which those interests will coalesce. Already you see what is happening in Kingston with the construction of residential and commercial real estate. And land in Kingston, available land for development is scarce. So the development push will be along this corridor, and it will come as far as to this point. So I'm certain that this project will be economically viable, and that this project will become the center of activity for the parish. But it is not just designed for its commercial use. The government is taking a very organized and structured approach to redeveloping our urban centers and rural townships. In our 60th year, as we reflect on our journey, we recognize that many of our rural townships have outlived their service and use to the populations that depend on them. They are either congested, it's very difficult to maneuver the towns, there's no parking that is available. The organization of the town leaves much to be desired. And so governments, in order to improve the welfare and well-being of people using these urban areas, governments have to step in and order and structure the development, urban development of these areas. So clearly, when you look at the town of Morant Bay, streets are small. The same issues with the possibility of a Morant Bay, for example, becoming a real economic center. So what we have done is to take this property, which is in proximity to the town, which is free and clear, which is not being used, and we're going to convert this now into the economic center, but also into the civic center of the town. Because when the foundations were laid for our society, in terms of our civil administration, we divided the country into counties, then we divided the counties into parishes, and then each parish would have a capital town, and in the capital town you would have the municipal authority and all the other civil services that would represent the government within each municipality. That has fallen away in many instances, and it really speaks to a kind of breakdown into the civil administration of the country. So aside from trying to create the economic activity, we are also trying to improve the civil administration of the country. So within this center, you will also have the municipal authority. You will have facilities for a library. You will have the courthouses. You will have a park and proper parking spaces as well. So it is truly the creation of an urban center that will serve the economic as well as the civil purposes. That will create its own magnetism. If people realize that they can have good public service, good economic service, they have security, which this will provide, then why not choose to live close to this? And so you're going to find along the highway and in this proximity housing developing. So the government is being catalytic and instrumental in trying to drive orderly and structured development. And this is the first one that will happen. It has taken some time. It is the first that we're going to be doing this in many decades. And so we have to get it right, because we're doing this without the government necessarily taking on any debt. So we have put some equity in, and we have put in our management, but government is not taking on any borrowing to do this. And so the time that it takes, therefore, to get partners convinced of the feasibility and so forth, that takes a little time. And then to make the proper adjustments so that the persons who will eventually use it are satisfied, that takes a little time. And I want to say that in the development of the project, we didn't just sit together as FCJ and the government and say, this is how it will be done. All the partners who will purchase property here and use here, they were consulted in the design. And we have made several changes to the design to accommodate. As I toured and as I was speaking with the NWA, the issue of traffic flow is a main concern, and that part of it we will have to do some more work to ensure that this does not become a traffic block or an obstacle for the smooth flow of traffic in the area. So we're going to be looking more at the design. So I'm very pleased to see finally that work has started. I wish to say to the contractors China Harbour and say so publicly that for some time now it has been bandied about that St. Thomas is a forgotten parish. It has indeed been the case that St. Thomas is the parish of, I would like to say, revolution instead of rebellion. This is the parish which sparked a change in how the colonial powers administer the affairs of the country. This parish long deserves the attention that it is now getting. We want the work to proceed apace. This project means a lot to the government of Jamaica, and we would want to see the contractors move apace as quickly as possible to get the project implemented. It will mean quite a bit for the people who will work here, for the people who will be providing the technical and material services here. And so, as far as possible, as much as possible, locals should lead the way in that regard. So, with those few words, I would ask Chairman of the FCJ, Tanner Shirley, if he would want to just give a little bit more detail as to what will actually be constructed here. Mr. Shirley.
Good afternoon, everyone. Prime Minister, I want to thank you very much for attending. We know it's a long journey to get over here, but we welcome you this afternoon. We have here quite a lot of stakeholders from the various government agencies, the head of China Harbour, the construction entity, NCE, the financiers you would have alluded to. What we have here, you are seeing, is a site preparation. It's a large site, it's full of vegetation, it has different grades that needs to be put back in proper level to get the construction going. As you know, we have to mitigate against, this has been an area that's prone for flooding. So all the necessary levels are important before we get the construction going, and that is what the construction team is going. We will have the parish council, we will have the municipal office, we will have several government entities to include family court, regular courthouse. We will have various food courts here, street food courts. All three of them will have their own ingress and egress. As you know, there's a particular food company that the parish of St. Thomas particularly want to have here. I'm happy to say they are not only going to be here, but they have been advertising and advocating that they will be here themselves. So I'm happy to put that. We are presently we are over 130% booked. We have more demand for space than we presently have on construction. Fortunately for us, we have acquired additional 10 acres of land, knowing well that the confidence we had in the project itself and the guidance we got from you, Prime Minister, in the vision of seeing this to be a real new hotspot in Jamaica. So we are going to be having BPOs. There will be a large amount of employment for young people in the BPO industry. Those have been booked. There will be several commercial entities. There will be a bank. Happy to know that the bank will be run by one of our financing institutions, major institution. So the facility will be an all-inclusive, integrated facility that borders on what you have conceptualized from day one: order, functionality, security. And that is what we would have achieved in the design concept. We will have a park similar to Emancipation Park. It's very historic. We're going to have a museum that symbolizes the history of St. Thomas and the process of what you have alluded to, what the people stand for and stood up to make us be where we are today, speaking freely and proud of ourselves. So we try to capture a whole lot in the development plan for which you have guided us and for which we are very thankful with your vision in guiding FCJ. I want to thank all the stakeholders who are here. I have Ms. Dr. Hu. She will introduce her construction team. I'm going to ask us to just confirm that the project has commenced. They will be revving it up, and by next month you'll be seeing real black and steel coming out of the ground when the preparation work would have completed. So I want to introduce everyone.
I'm so pleased to be here today and be very proud of being part of FCG's development. Today I use this time to introduce our team here. This is our Vice President, came from head office in Beijing. Our head office is also very supportive with this project, and Mr. Shu will daily support us in here and also to monitoring our progress here. So I want to say China Harbour is China Harbour, but China Harbour is Jamaica company. You know China Harbour very well. So if China Harbour say something, we will fulfill it. So thank you, Vice President, for your coming and for your visiting. And by the way, may I, Mr. Xi is our project manager for the Morant Bay project here. So his team has been already fully assembled, be ready to start. Definitely we are ready to go. Thank you.
So as we close, we have Member of Parliament James Robertson, Member of Parliament Michelle Charles, Member of Parliament for this era, where the project is being dealt with. I thought I saw the Mayor and other councillors who are here. This is major for the country and for the parish of St. Thomas. But this is not the only one that is planned. This is one of 4 rural township developments that are on the books. Falmouth is being planned as we speak, and that is a 50-acre plot of land that we have, which is in proximity to the town of Falmouth, which we will be doing something similar. We're looking at Boundbrook, which is far advanced. The plans for that are complete. The financing is about to be complete, and we could start that within the 60th year of our independence. We are also looking at Odava, and that is being done as well. Spanish Town, as you know, is close to my heart for more reasons than one. And whilst we have not yet put to paper designs, but Spanish Town would be an area of Jamaica that has so much cultural and heritage assets that we need to preserve and develop. So Spanish Town would be next on our radar as an urban township that needs intervention. But you know, almost all our town capitals are in need of this kind of intervention. The plan of the government is to ensure that the country has proper spatial management proper urban spaces where everyone can feel safe, feel secure, and can feel that they are in a modern setting. And that is a challenge, especially for some of our young people who feel that the infrastructure in their country is just not sufficient for what they would want to be able to enjoy and to work, live and play in. And the government is understanding of that. So even as the country faces a crisis which is not of its own making, a crisis which we have no control over, we are not losing faith and hope in the future. The plans that we have now, we're going to push ahead with them, because the moment we stop, that is when we are likely to fall into a recession. So our investment plans, our development plans, we're going to continue with them, we're going to push them, we're going to keep driving employment, we're going to keep driving the growth, because the best way, and in fact the most secure way of caring for the vulnerable, the poor, the unemployed, is to keep the economy turning so that we all can benefit from the economy. And this is just one of the projects that will ensure that the economy of St. Thomas keeps on turning. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Forgive me, I didn't read your shirt.
I noticed you said the restaurant names and you said that. I don't hold it against you.
I will have to send you a bill if I endorse any bank or restaurant.
All's good. So NCB Financial Group is very proud to be the financial partner for this project. We've been working with the FCJ and Check team throughout the process. We're very happy we're at this stage, where the work has started. And we're not only the debt provider, so the National Commercial Bank has provided the debt to fund the project, but we're very committed, so much so that we're equity partners, and one of our funds, Stratus, is actually an equity partner in the project. So that's how committed we are, that's how much we believe in it, and we're very excited to keep going. We're very excited for the benefit it will bring to the people of St. Thomas and to Jamaica in general. Thank you.
So earlier I had misspoke. I had said the member of parliament for the area was Michelle. It's actually James. But that's fine. There's a line somewhere very close. So both of them will obviously work together to ensure that the project is a success. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm not particularly interested.
We're ready to. All right, thank you, everyone. Jason, you're the only one. Just one quick one. Jason, one. Mr. Charlie. Which one is this?
Construction cost is $6 billion. How many are you anticipating? Construction, we anticipate it could be another $400. After construction, we are anticipating a 2-year construction period for construction. I'm sure knowing the capabilities of China Harbour and the contractor themselves, they will try to do not only within time but before they schedule time.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Prime Minister.